So when I first came out here, I tried to find things like everyone does. You try to find things that remind you of home and is close to home.
What
Yeah.
I did, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do anything that's home. So
Yeah,
that's why I don't go for
exactly.
bagels. I don't go for New York pizza. I'm not gonna find that out here, right?
Yep.
Let me appreciate this place. Let me appreciate any place that I've been to for what it is.
I'm not gonna move out to a place and just only try what I'm used to.
No,
You
that's
gotta
yes.
immerse yourself in the culture, and that's what's gonna make you have a better experience.
Let's flat out. Big teams, big boys, alright?
My highs and lows inherit growth, Mr. Deeds. Went from juggling 3 jobs to CEO like I'm Steve. Never been a rotten apple, call me John Appleseed. That's how I bleed. God can see no other man can judge me. Call him Mike, Mr. International, getting cream. Single mother told me worth, and now I'm worth everything. Went from Wall Street to Abu Dhabi, straight rolling in a Maserati with women that feel exotic. My life too pristine.
Man, you didn't have to do them like that, man. You didn't have to do them like that.
It was film day.
Yeah.
We gotta make a statement.
Exactly. We gotta make a statement. Last
What's
flight
going
out,
on,
man.
man?
Let's fly out, 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 fly out.
Welcome back to Last Flight Out Podcast. Once again, we're your hosts, Mike and Jay. You can follow us on all social media platforms. You can follow me at JLubrio26.
Follow me, Mike. If Mike was here,
Hit the thumbs up button for the LFO boys and follow us. And follow most importantly, please like this video because it's really going to help us share, subscribe, get our word out.
Last Flight Out podcast on all social media platforms.
Exactly. And you could also catch us on our YouTube channel, obviously, and you can listen to us via audio on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to your podcast. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. It was a long day today.
It was a long day. So you got the water out. You got the water out. Yeah.
I need it.
So I think today we have a bit of a special episode for everyone, just like every other episode. We gave them high-level descriptions. Last time we talked about sort of the process, right? How to get here, right? And a common question that I always get, at least, and I'm sure you get, is how's the food? How's the culture out there in the GCC and the UAE, right? So
how are you able to adapt out there?
how you're able to adapt, right? We're gonna talk about how food and culture sometimes intertwine, sometimes how they're not intertwined. We're gonna obviously share our favorite foods from here, right? And from in the region of what we've tasted, what we maybe don't like, and some of the events and some of the I guess cultural differences between here and New York. You know, some things that are just different. So how about we hit them with the food? As the resident foodie, I think you have to just take people through a food tour of what you discovered over the last 8 years. Are things very different between New York? What are some of the things that are similar? What are some things that are the same? I guess different, right?
Yeah. I feel when it goes to like when you're in Dubai specifically,
Right.
Dubai is like a New York, it's like a London.
Yeah, it's like Las
LA.
Vegas. It has everything.
It has
Everything you
everything.
want.
Abu Dhabi a little bit, a lot, but for the most part, Abu Dhabi is more traditional. But in Dubai, whatever you're craving, whether it's Japanese, Russian, Turkish or different Arab, and there's a difference between, not all Arab food is the same.
No, it's not.
Between Turkish food, I mean, Turkish isn't even
It's
Arab.
it's Persian. That's
Yeah,
Persian.
it's Persian.
Eastern
Yeah,
European.
excuse me. You know, between what is it, Saudi food, between Emirati food,
There are
is a
those subtle
difference.
differences for sure.
Yeah, but Moroccan food is a whole difference.
Has the food scene grown since you've been here? I know you got here a few years back, so like 8 years ago. So has the food scene exploded over the last few years?
The food scene has grown, but I think it's more of the same thing. You're always going to have your Asian influences, your modern Asian influence. For me in particular, I'm looking for the Caribbean food to just flood this
Can we
area.
stop right there? Can we stop right there? Can we stop right there? No Dominican food here.
No Puerto Rican food.
No sofrito. You're not finding no sofrito out here,
At
right?
all.
No mofongo, no tostones. I mean, you'll find plantains, but you'll find sweet plantains, right? Like I'm a tostones guy, right?
You're
not gonna find that here. It's actually funny because I had some family visit and they were trying to find some plantains.
You can find
plantains, but they had to go deep. Like they weren't finding that at the weight roast.
No. You gotta go to certain restaurants to get that. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no Dominican food. When you first discovered, there weren't some of your favorite comfort foods here, and as two New Yorkers, nobody does pizza better than New York. So
that's
like
and bagels.
And bagels.
Ooh,
there has to be something about the water.
Yeah.
I think the water's too clean over here to make nice pizzas, make good tasting pizzas, and to make flavorful bagels, right? I know
Exactly,
people
that's not
try and they come somewhat close, but it's never gonna hit like home. So I never. Are those things that you like look for when you're here? Like, do you crave pizza when you're out here, or you just be like, I'll get my fix when I head back home?
No, so when I first came out here, I tried to find things like everyone does. You try to find things that remind you of home and as close to home. Honestly, there's only 2 Jamaican restaurants that I know of that's really popular here. And those get the fix done. It's not the same as back home, but it gets the job done. Other than that, on the Caribbean scene, there's no Latin food. They had a Chino Latino thing going on.
Oh, really?
But that closed. Yeah, they had one. It was official too.
Damn,
it was
man.
official.
You know
But-
what? Yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, but other than that is, then when you realize you're not gonna get your pizza, I tried every type of pizza. It ain't the same.
Pizza Express, don't hit it.
Yeah,
Papa-
exactly.
I was never a Papa John's guy
Exactly.
anyway, so.
No. I'm talking about the pizza where they making it fresh and all that,
No, it's like Napolitano pizza, right? That's a different fix when you go to Europe, right? I want a slice that I can,
I
just
don't
the
even
size
eat
of
those
my
no more.
forearm.
I ended up going to Grimaldi's. That changed my life, man. Like ever
Grimaldi's
since,
in New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ever since I went to Grimaldi's, it's like I'm not doing when the pizza's sitting there. I can't do that
But you
anymore.
bougie, man.
Call me bougie.
Yeah,
man.
get out of here. You're from the
If
Heights,
it's
man.
sitting-
Get out of here. Get out of here.
If
What
it's
you talking
sitting
about?
there, I'm not
Yeah,
doing it.
but you're going on Sunday morning after a night, going out on Saturday and get the buffet from a Dominican restaurant that's been sitting there for hours.
Oh,
So
yeah,
that's
cool. It's all good.
what's the difference?
Yeah,
What's
it's the difference.
Anyway, okay, fine. So you have your date night. Where's your go-to? Whether it's in Abu Dhabi or
you got this. I mean, you got the staples out here. You know what I mean. So I tend to go on the side of like, let's have fun because I like these restaurants too.
Yeah.
I like going out
Vibrations.
too. So I'm hitting exactly send the vibes. I'm gonna hit them with a little Zuma, Namos,
Koya's,
Koya.
Verde.
Yeah. Those
Oh,
are like the staples out here.
But do you feel, and you get this in New York too, right?
Yeah.
Because of how glitzy and glammy Dubai is, right? And maybe to a lesser extent, Abu Dhabi is a little bit more conservative in a good way. But do you feel like it takes away from the quality of food because people are there for the vibes, right? Because in New York, if a place has bad food but good vibes, that place won't last. But I feel like in other places,
No, I think in New York it
won't last. Vibes with bad food?
Yeah, there's places with vibes and bad.
We're not gonna call them out. We're not calling them
I
out.
don't want to because
we're gonna have that debate outside off the record because you can have a place that's vibey in New York with bad food.
I would tell you that's going to ruin potential partnerships and all.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. But I feel okay, fine. I feel like here though, for sure, I've been to some places and the vibes are immaculate. The vibes are out of 10. But the food is not what I expected it to be, right?
Can I ask you something? Are you talking more so brunches?
Oh no,
Because
brunches.
brunches will have the
No,
vibe. Notorious for having the vibes and in bad food.
Yeah, the
It's a
brunches.
choice
But you're
you
not.
make.
But hold on, you're not going. Okay, let's jump right into that. Brunch in the Middle East
It's
is a
different.
concept.
No,
It's a
it's-
concept. It's not a day. It's not a day of time. It's a concept. It's an idea. It's basically an AK for a day party. I don't know why they just don't put day party.
I love brunches here though, and everyone that I've brought out here that's come from New York and came out here is different. Because the brunches in New York, it's what, the $35 menu,
The carafes, unlimited carafe for 2 hours.
and the unlimited carafe is what, the BS sangria or
It's the cheap
or the,
Prosecco.
mimosa and all that.
Yeah.
Here, you gonna pay a little bit more.
Oh, you're getting that.
That's
You're getting that Don P. You're getting that Don P.
for 4 hours
For
minimum.
4 hours.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be washed coming out
Exactly.
coming out of that brunch. But do you feel even that was that a difference in which is funny, right? Because people think Islam, Muslim, GCC, they don't think brunches, they don't think day parties, they don't think anything remotely fun, which just because you're religious or sometimes or just because you have sort of like a religious influence in your society doesn't mean you can't have
yeah,
fun,
exactly.
right? Like that's such a
That's a big stereotype. People get shocked, like, oh, I'm like, how do you think people stay out here 5-10 years? I'm like,
you're going on 10 right
Yeah,
now.
I
You wouldn't
know.
be going out here if you wasn't
I'm like,
doing anything.
yeah, you think it's boring that I'm gonna stay out here? It's like, no, there is a social aspect to it.
Yeah, because the money can only do
Yeah.
so much if you can't spend
Exactly.
it, right?
It's not all about the money out here.
It's not all about the money. And I think that the UAE is doing such a great job in bringing in Western sort of culture to make people like us feel a little bit more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
From the festivals, from the restaurants, from the day-to-day activities, desert activities, and just going to the desert, just going and enjoying outdoorsy things, right? To sort of just spice things up, right? Because there's only but so much that work is going to take you, right? And your friends, and sometimes your friends are not available. Okay, so we covered sort of the staples here and sort of the food culture.
And wait, just before we skip off of that, one interesting thing that I did when I got here to embrace the culture and take a deep dive, because I'm not going to move out to a place and just only try what I'm used to.
No, that's
you gotta
yes.
immerse yourself in the culture, and that's what's going to make you have a better experience. So for one, like me, eating with my hands, eating with a group of friends, you know, breaking bread together, literally that's a beautiful experience. You know what I mean? So
have you ever had like a traditional Emirati meal where you're eating on, you know, sort of the rug, and you have the familiar setting in the middle?
And it's very clean, because I know some people are like, oh my gosh, you're eating with your hands and all that. It's
clean.
It's so clean. Wash your hands, and everybody eats from their section. You're not reaching over.
Yeah,
you're not going over here.
You're not double dipping in somebody else's territory.
Exactly. It's in your area. You grab what you can, then put it in. I make a mess, man. We got to film that, because I don't know how to do it.
The
but
people want to see
the
that,
food
man.
is official too.
Yeah, the food is great. The food is definitely great. And that's another thing, taking risk, right? Punching that ticket, taking a leap into faith, jumping off into the deep end, whatever you want to say. I think when people come here, they try to find the things that make them comfortable to remind them of home. Yeah. What I did, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do anything that's home. So that's why I don't go for bagels. I don't go for New York pizza. I'm not going to find that out here, right? Yep. Let me appreciate this place. Let me appreciate any place that I've been to for what it is.
Exactly.
I want to see what the things I'm going to like, some things I don't like. Maybe it'll change my perception about things I used to think I liked.
Exactly.
Right? So I just try to try all different types of food here, whether it's Asian, Turkish, whether it's French, Spanish, whatever it may be, Moroccan, Egyptian, whatever, African, Pan-African food. I try it all. Yeah. And there's not many foods I don't like, but I've just tried. I just try to try it all, and I hate going out to the same restaurant over and over and over again.
I know. I've never done that before.
I may go to the same shisha spot over and over and over again, because you can't, you know. But there's only
shisha guy. We got to bring the shishas out one time.
I'm telling you, that's still being discussed, ladies and gentlemen. Family show, and if there's somebody who wants to partner with us,
and culture in shisha, are we jumping into that?
Let's do it, man. Let's just jump into culture and shisha. So, obviously we do hookah back home. That's what it's called, right? When I say shisha back in New York, people are like, hookah. What is that? It sounds it sounds like a drug or something like that. It's not. It's hookah, right? And I thought I was smoking decent hookah in certain places until I moved.
Until you came here.
I moved to London first, right? So there's obviously places in London that have such an Arab influence, that have their Arab neighborhoods, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Yeah. When I got here, I was like, oh no, I don't even drink that much anymore, because I smoke shisha instead. But shisha, and I think just this GCC region and just in the Arab world, they're very intertwined, right? It's a way to socialize. Yep. It's a way to actually calm yourself down, because they're not allowed to drink, right? As if they're practicing Muslims, right? So it's also a good way to bring people together.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely. I mean, and in a lot of ways, sometimes after work, some of my local colleagues who are Emirati would be like, "Oh, do you want to go smoke a shisha?" They're never going to be like, "Let's go happy hour. Let's go have a drink." Right. So, exactly. So yeah, I've been an aficionado. I'm definitely a fan. For anybody who knows me, for anybody who hangs out with me, there has to be shisha wherever we go, because I really don't drink much. Yeah. I may order a lot of Clase Azul, but I don't drink much. I don't drink much.
Clase Azul hit his line.
What about you? Like, were you a big shisha smoker before you got here? Were you like sort of not like?
I was, being from the Heights.
The barbecue cold.
Exactly. We're from the Heights. We used to the birdcage.
Oh, birdcage. Charging you $60, $20 for the refill.
Oh, for the refill too.
And they come in every 20 minutes on point when they know that thing is dying.
Exactly. Yeah, probably give you half-used shisha too as well.
I'm convinced it's half-used, because in 15 minutes it's gone.
Exactly.
It hits hard for the first 5 minutes. You think you're smoking some Russian shisha, and then you get to minute 8, 9, and it dies.
Yeah. So one thing is I probably started smoking shisha more, but in a decent amount. But it's the quality of it and the whole experience. And one thing I learned here is that people don't share hookahs
we
or
need to talk about
shishas.
that.
You
Can
know
we
what
talk
I mean?
about that
Like
real quick? Can we send the
proper
message?
shisha etiquette, especially if you're a guy. Guys don't share shishas. You know,
No, guys don't.
we don't need the mouthpieces because there's no sharing.
There's no sharing.
And
So
out here, they bring in the new hose. Is
every
break them
time.
out the plastic. It's brand new.
I'm paying $5 for that every single time.
Exactly.
And let me send the message to my boys back home. The reason I don't share shisha is exactly for that. When I saw how you're supposed to have it, you
Exactly.
can take out your own $50, and it also takes away the cheap keeps. Right?
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
definitely a cheap keep. Imagine having to share shisha with me. You'll never get it.
Oh man,
You'll just never get it, right? So, look, it's something that's definitely very prevalent here. But let's talk about something else, right? As long you sometimes socialize with some local Emiratis. I mean, we've gone on trips with an Emirati before, right? So, but in general,
one of the first people that I met out here, and still my good friend today, is Emirati. You know, very welcoming.
Well, they're a very welcoming culture.
Yeah.
But you can't help sometimes to see, like, sometimes they like to do their own thing, right? Sometimes they like to be separated, right? And sometimes, even though Emirati, we're in the UAE, right? Sometimes it's not always the most present. It's not always the most at the forefront, right? They try to be. I think they're so welcoming sometimes that they almost forget to sort of like throw it in your face, like you're an Emirati, you're in the UAE. You have to embrace Emirati culture. I think they do such a good job in balancing, their culture and seeing the beautiful mosque, the flags around their holidays, right? It's very UAE centric, but also letting people embrace their own culture and bring it a separate
their own
flavor
culture
here.
and religion as well.
Yeah, right.
There's churches here. I think there's temples as well, like Hindu temples. Yeah,
the synagogue is about to be built in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, so very tolerant.
Very tolerant. And what about over the last few years? We've been to a couple, and I've noticed the influx of the amount of festivals in the UAE, right?
Yeah.
Wireless. There's the Butterfly Carnival that's coming through.
Hip hop turns 50. They're gonna be associated with the Soul DXB event as well. Yeah.
Soul
so
DXB
that's
is
gonna
coming.
be.
And what were there as many festivals when you first got here, or they have just increased and exploded?
They've just increased and exploded.
Okay, and that's made. And how's that done for? What's that done for your experience here?
So the concert experience here, I don't know. We a bit grown. So, when we go to concerts back home, it's a different vibe.
It's just different. It's a different vibe.
Yeah. I say the concerts out here is like a younger vibe. And I mean younger, like teen vibe.
Yeah. So I remember when we went to the Soul DXB event.
Soul DXB I like.
No, Soul DXB was cool, but there was a lot. It was more on the
No, we didn't
side.
go to Soul DXB. Don't confuse that one.
No, we went to the Bread. Sorry.
Bread,
apologies.
yeah.
We went to Bread.
Shout out to Soul.
Shout out to Soul.
Yeah.
And shout out to Bread too. Bread
shout out to Bread, bro. It's good.
Shout out
everybody. Yeah.
Bread was a great event. Mm-hmm. But I remember going there, and I remember it being young. I remember feeling like one of the older people in the crowd, and I'm only 32 years old, which is like the weird thing to say. Yeah. But I also know that people are still embracing Western culture, because I remember in certain songs, you and me were like the only ones who knew the lyrics, and everybody else is kind of just like bopping along. So they obviously listen to the music, but it's still taking a little time to like fully integrate here. Even though you get acts like 2 Chainz is here all the time. 50 Cent, I think, has a residency at this place. Rick Ross definitely has a residency at Blue. Akon is here all the time, right? So they're definitely very welcoming of hip hop music, Afro beats, Amapiano, right? Yeah. Like, EDC, rock music, whatever you're into, they have it here, right? Yeah, so you just need to find your own little corner, your own little spot. But in line with hip hop, let's talk about fashion, right? Like fashion here, at least for us, I noticed didn't change, right? It's not like, we're still on our streetwear or smart casual or smart chic, whatever you want to call it, right? But I think, and I'm not a woman, but just based upon what I've heard, in certain places I have to go a little bit more modest, right? Which is the difference between here and maybe other places in the West, like especially in New York, where you can almost wear anything you want, right? And it's not
at
surprising.
Any time, yeah. I would say here, everything has a time and place. Because you go to a beach club here and it's like, people are wearing next to nothing,
you feel like you're in a nude, you feel like you're in a beach somewhere in France somewhere, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you go to the mall, it's like I have some women friends and they have a cover up or a buyer just in the tuck. Like, all right, go on.
It becomes like what is it? It comes like an umbrella,
Yeah.
like in London, or you could just have an abaya in your bag, just pull it out, just cover your shoulders.
Yeah.
Or
And that's
whatever.
just showing respect to the culture, the families, and things like that. So that's all good. But it's not so much of a big deterrent. Like when we get asked, how can you live over there? How do the women dress and all that? And we definitely got to have a woman as a guest just to give that experience.
We need to bring that on. We need to bring on the women's experience here in the UAE, because there wouldn't be people flocking here if it was such an oppressive culture.
Exactly.
Right? Especially people from the West. If it's so oppressive, then why are people coming here? You need to stop listening to that. I keep telling people, traveling somewhere and living somewhere, two totally different experiences. Two different things. When you travel somewhere, you're not going to get the real on the ground feeling of it, especially if you're only there for a couple of days. Maybe if you're here for a few months, but that's not traveling at that point. You're being a nomad. But if you're just traveling for a week, that's not enough to really get a sense of a place, right? You're looking at it from a tourist perspective. Even when I go back to London, now that I'm a tourist, they're not living there anymore. It's from a different perspective, right? As opposed to, I'm not annoyed by the same things I got annoyed by when I lived there, right? Now that I'm a tourist, I'm like, whatever, because I'm leaving. But
and even things like alcohol. People say, "Oh, you can't drink here," something like that.
False.
Where's the liquor stores and things like that? Come on.
I just found out you need a liquor license in Dubai still.
In Dubai, yeah. Dubai.
They hit me with that. They hit me with that the other day. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't need one in Abu Dhabi, but I need one in Dubai. What?
You know what's crazy? And people think Abu Dhabi is more strict than Dubai. I'm like, I never had a liquor license. I mean, actually, I had a liquor license, but you didn't really need it. You know?
You find your little spot.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike, let me tell you something about Mike. Mike is going to make friends with people.
Yeah.
He's a good guy to know. He's a good guy to know. So if you want to at least just follow him, just so that you can have a good guy to know, you should just follow him on.
We're going to network. We're going to make it happen. So mutually beneficial.
Okay, so the modest wear, but like you said, beach. But you know what? Let's talk about the culture. Let's wind it back to the beach. You know why? Because catcalling is illegal here.
Is it?
Yeah, you cannot catcall here in the UAE.
I didn't know that.
You cannot catcall.
But some people be staring.
The stairs are
is
a different thing,
crazy.
but it goes for guys and girls.
Yeah.
The stare.
Yeah.
Right. So the stare is something that I have noticed immediately when I first got here, and I was just like, okay, like, why are you staring at me like that?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if you're like, because in New York, that's beef on your block. Somebody stares at you that much, right?
Yeah,
Somebody stares at you that much. Either that, you want to talk to me, you want to say something to me, but sometimes they look angry.
No, and I think it's just that it really is an international city where it's a mix of different cultures. Because even personal space, you know,
bro,
I was at the ATM,
bro. Like,
and when I tell you, I swear somebody was breathing down my neck. I'm like, can I get space? But you know, being here and it is a safe country. You don't feel that threat of you're getting robbed. So it's like, yo, back up. Like,
exactly.
Can I take my money out? Can I count my money?
Nah, exactly. No, in New York, there needs to be at least two bodies in between you and me.
Yeah, exactly.
But here, it could get real close, real fast.
Yeah. And they don't mean no harm.
It don't mean no harm. It don't mean no harm. But speaking about culture, and then I want to wind it back. So we talked about food. We talk about music. We talked about just fashion. Getting to all these places. Let's talk about driving in the UAE real quick. Okay. I feel like my driving skills have gotten so much better because if you could drive here, you could drive anywhere else. For real. No. And there's so many weird sort of like when you signal that you want to merge into a lane, people speed up here, which I'll never understand why they do that. Why don't you just let me merge? Because you're just gonna cause more traffic. But anyway.
I don't know. For me, if you're a police officer, come talk to us. Let's have you on this show. Let's be friends. Because if I tell you I've never had a parking ticket or a speeding ticket when I was in the States, and here, I could have bought another car. That's how much I spent. Because here, the beautiful thing is we don't even get to speak to the lovely police people out here. I've probably in 8 years talked to them twice, and it's all been welcoming. It's all been great. I lost my cell phone, went to the precinct, they offered me tea and coffee, and was like, we're going to find it for you. And they did. They found my phone.
That's the one thing. You lose things,
they're going to find it for you.
In New York, yours is one of them. You would have been T-Mobile the next day. Like, I need to get a new phone.
Exactly.
I just need to get a new phone.
So when I tell you these speed cameras, there's no negotiation. There's no playing nice. Is you go 1 mile over.
It's 1 kilometer over.
1 kilometer over.
In Dubai, they give you...
No. So... Yeah, so it's known if it's 100, you could go 120.
Oh,
But
for
have
real?
you-
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Thanks
in
for
Dubai.
see, we dropping gems.
Exactly.
We dropping
So,
gems for people.
in Dubai, but in Abu Dhabi, that's not the case. If it's 120, you can only go 120. And when I tell you, if you go 121, it's over. They're gonna have a picture in 4K. They're gonna tell you this is the fine, and that's it.
They're gonna see you with your boogers coming out. You know, that's how good the cameras are.
Exactly. There's no negotiation. I wish I could talk to somebody like, hey, officer, I was in a rush. I'm late to film this podcast.
Exactly.
Let me go. You know?
They're not doing that. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. I've only gotten one ticket here, and they caught me on. I was going. It was like a 60-kilometer zone. I was going like 62. I was like,
Okay.
really like. And then after that, just go speed limit. Like I just don't play in Abu Dhabi. I don't even play in Dubai. I don't like to speed out here. When you have all these luscious roads, and we can't take advantage of all the Lamborghinis and the Porsches that we have out here.
Exactly.
It's okay. That's a different show. Again, if a police officer wants to come here and talk about the rules, we're more than happy to bring you on. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about something that's very important as someone who's Black and Puerto Rican and someone who's Dominican. Haircuts.
Oh, yes, yes.
You know what?
Finding a barber. That was probably like either top 2 on my priorities when I got here.
Oh, that's always top 1. That's number 1 for me. What are you talking about? Top 2
and it ain't 2.
What's the top 2 and it ain't 2?
Finding a barber shop out here. I started from everywhere from like going to the mall, going to Supercuts.
You go to Supercuts in New York? Why would you go to Supercuts here? Why you go to Supercuts, man?
I thought that was the place.
You didn't care about your hair, man. You didn't care about your hair.
I got jacked up a few times. Then I went to some people that give the cuts in the house, which they were good. But you know, I'm the type, I like that full barbershop experience. I want the hot towel. I want the...
Where in New York was you getting hot towels and spa treatments?
Where?
Yeah.
Well, man, the Dominicans hook it up.
Man,
the Dominicans get a hot towel with the massager, with the hand massager, go over your face. You never had that?
We need to go. Maybe my Dominican barbers were
he was
ripping me off. He was ripping me off. I was
put the Noxzema on. He never put the Noxzema on?
The white cream?
Yeah, exactly.
I had that. I don't want to play my guy. I don't want to play my guy. He always takes care of me. But my guys come to my house now when I go back to the city. I do house calls. I can't go to a barbershop no more.
You fancy. You're low-key fancy. You're super fancy. Yo, I thought I was fancy. I met my match, man. Yo, you take the cake.
That's true. No, hold on. Time out, though. Why would I go to a barbershop to sit there and waste my time? You know how it goes. You go there at 11 o'clock, you don't sit till 1:30.
No, I don't play.
I got a whole day planned. I'm an adult now, and I have a schedule. The same way you got a schedule. I don't care that Nanito was running late. I need you to give me on time for my appointment.
No, I don't play now. Any barber I go to anywhere in the world is by appointment.
Yeah.
And I had to train the ones that I was going to before back in the States. Like, listen, tipping them good. I'm coming at this time.
Sometimes that don't even work, man. They'd be like, oh, thanks. You just bought me 2 big AGs for the week.
But it worked for me.
Okay.
But now, wait, who's the barbers you go to? Because we go to 2 different barbers.
Oh, man. I need to give my guys at ELOC in Abu Dhabi a shout out. My boy Noor, he definitely cuts me right. When I first got here, let me tell you something. I will put any this Arab barber for this fade and this beard against any Dominican back in New York.
Yo, man. You lace. He's lace. He's always, as y'all can see in HD, 4K.
People
he's
always
lace.
ask me, where do I get my haircuts from? Dudes ask me, like, where do you get your haircut from? And I'm just like, yo, man, I got this guy I need to send you
but
to.
this is talent, though. He fades you with the scissors.
With a scissor, not even with the clippers.
That's
with
crazy,
the scissor.
bro.
So this fade right
scissor
here.
Fade?
This is a scissor fade.
Yeah.
This is a scissor fade. He only cleans it up at the end just to take off the hairs that were left there one time, and that's it. This is a scissor fade.
Crazy.
But the one downside is that the haircut does last over like an hour and a half, and he's on my beard for like 45 minutes of it.
Oh,
like
I know you be tired.
I'm like, yo, I want to go home. So it gets real. It becomes like a whole day.
It's a whole day. You gotta plan that.
It's a whole morning.
But it's by appointment. You come in, you sitting down.
But because Friday's their holy day, he doesn't come here on my Fridays. And Friday's a big day. That's usually I want to look fresh on Friday. So I'm good Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night if I go out, right? And then Monday when you go into work, you're still balling a little bit, right?
Now you move to Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai, you got tons of options.
Oh no, I have my guy here. He's special with it too, man. So I'm very
Arab as well.
He's Jordanian.
Jordanian?
Yeah,
okay,
he's still from the region, So he's good. He's cold. And that
shout out to the Arabs that do haircuts. But I challenge them. I need to see if an Arab could do my hair. Because I haven't
You've been
had
telling me
any
you're struggling. What are you
success.
telling me you're struggling, man? How
Yeah.
you struggling, man?
Honestly, shout out to in Dubai, the best barber, MK Barbershop. I like them, but I don't live there, so it's it's only on special occasions or when I need a fresh cut. I'm making that drive.
Here in Dubai?
Yeah, they that good.
You know, when I first moved here to Dubai, I drove back a few times to go see my boy Elak before.
Oh, for real?
The guys at Elak before I hooked up with the guy I have here, because this is a trust thing. This is a marriage. When you cook up with a barber, that's a marriage right there. And also, you need a backup because they go on vacation.
You need a backup.
And when they go on vacation, it's a whole month.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, a whole month.
It's crazy.
And they be going to critical times in the middle of the summer, in the middle of
holiday season.
I'm like, I'm trying to go to Mykonos. You're leaving when they leaving me with this?
Let's speak about the culture though. Like, people here don't go to the same barbers. They go with whoever's free. Like, and for us, that's a sin. It's like, you stick to your barber. The only thing with me is I have a barber in Abu Dhabi, have a barber in Dubai that I'm faithful to, and that's it. Now, I'm looking for you. My barber in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, he just left. He left me in a critical situation.
Critical situation?
Right now, I'm fresh and all that, but it's not as crispy. Y'all gonna see when I come from my guy, y'all gonna be like, yo, he's looking different. He's in his bag.
He feels like a different man.
Exactly.
He feels like a different man. But you know what? That's a big thing here. You walk into a barber, they're like, who's available? Yeah, you'll come. I don't do that. No way. Dudes from New York, they don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't do that. But if you're testing things out, I think that's the only way. That's the only way to find the guy who you think is going to be a match made in heaven. But similar to that, could we talk about how grooming places for men and women here are separated? Right?
Oh yeah,
we have to talk about
real
that.
Different.
That's a real different. I'm not saying they're not separated back in the States, but here they're purposely separated, right?
Purposely separated unless you go to a hotel. For example, at a barbershop, you could get a massage, you could get a manicure and pedicure and all that. And it's all gonna be done by
a bath.
Turkish bath. You get scrubbed on and all that. It's different and all that. Yeah. So it's just different. Unless you go to a hotel,
right,
where then you could be like, oh, okay, I want a female to do this or whatever. So
like getting your manicure or your pedicure by a guy is not weird here. It's something totally normal.
And there's like salons that are women only, and they're strict about that.
All the salons are women only.
They're like, you can't come in.
It's also because they take off their hijabs, right? So you can see their hair, and you have to be respectful of the culture, right? So, not that was a shock, because I wasn't walking to many salons anyway. But in the event that you go to a unisex salon back home, that's something to take into consideration. If that's what you want to replicate that vibe here.
Sometimes if you got a friend, you gonna hang out with your friend. With me, it's like, yo, just come, we talking, she getting her hair done. It's like, nah.
Wait, hold on. You have friends that you go with them to the salon, you just talk to them?
You haven't? I've done that before.
Like, my mom used to work at salons all her life, and I don't remember too many dudes just going in there to talk to them. You was over here just chatting them up. You was over here just trying to be a good friend. That's it.
Been a good friend.
Mike is always the good friend here. Mike's
bring some coffee.
You bring him some coffee, give him this little shoulder rub. So let's talk about, and even, just going back to the facilities point, some parks are separated too. Some parks are only for women and kids, right? On certain hours, right? Salons we've already mentioned.
Train stations, the transportation as well.
Are they separated?
Yeah, so in the metro, they have carts that are together, but then they do have carts if you want to go to women only.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I never experienced that. I've only taken the public transit here once, and that's for Expo. So that's actually very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if you don't want to get harassed or hit on, you go to...
But that doesn't really happen a lot here in public. You have to be pretty brave to do it in the way that we're used to, I think, back in the West,
the way that we're used to.
That's
hey, that doesn't happen. Come over here.
Like doing little clicks and whistles.
Exactly.
That's not happening here. That's not happening here. I don't know. They may think you're actually whispering at somebody here.
They might actually come up. Is everything okay?
Are you okay? You need to. They may actually be like, do you have problems? Do you have Tourette's or something? Like, it's okay. But I think people need to realize, we're talking about all this culture. We're talking about all the things to do here. We're talking about all the facilities, all the things that this place has to offer. This place is only 50 years old, man.
Yeah.
It's very, very young, brand new country, right? It got only formed in, 1972 as a formal country, right?
Yeah.
As a formal independent state. And I still think in a lot of ways they're still building themselves, right?
Definitely.
Right? They're still building themselves. They're bringing people from all over the world. They're bringing new ideas. There's new restaurants all the time, new activities. They got the
laws change all the time. So when we talk about culture, when I first came here, what is it? Couples couldn't live together unless you were married.
Wow, so
and now that changed just last year, I believe.
The year I got here in 21.
Yeah, 2021. So now, if you're a couple, boyfriend and girlfriend, without being married, you could live together.
That would have caused some issues for a lot of people if you think about it, right?
Yeah, I know some people that went to jail for that. They don't.
We're gonna keep that off camera. We're gonna keep that off camera. But what? They went to jail for that?
They went to jail.
Who snitched on them? Somebody snitched on them.
Yeah, that's the tea that I wanted to get. That they was just passed it on. They didn't really want to talk about it. But they did say that jail wasn't that bad. They was like, that everything was good.
We're not gonna talk about. I've never been inside of a jail facility, so I don't know what the facilities look like. But I do hear that the jail facilities here are not that bad.
And to show it's not that bad. Like literally, when they came out of jail, they could have just went home. Like, I'm pissed off at this country. Let's go home. They ended up getting married and staying in the country.
Oh, so there's a happy ending for everybody.
Exactly.
UAE, they get more expats, and the two couples who found it happily ever after.
Exactly.
Now,
maybe they snitched on themselves. It was an insider job.
Maybe for ring. What? Just to get the ring. One of them was just trying to get the ring. Exactly. Okay, fine. Okay. What about? Okay, we need to, I think, talk about this point, but it has to be very delicate.
Okay.
PDA. It's not. We're from New York, so you see everything on the outside.
You see everything.
Everything is good to go in the streets of New York.
Mind your business.
And it's not just mind your business. Look straight. Don't look to the left. Don't look to the right. Don't make a comment. Just mind your business. Here, you can't be doing all that in public, in the middle of a crowd.
You will get that tap on the shoulder. What is this?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the Wi-Fi.
Okay. So anyway, technical difficulties. But what happened? So PDA, you can't be just showing your affection in public, let's say, in a crowded place.
You cannot. I think that's even a law here. Like, you're not allowed public.
Yeah,
you're not allowed PDA.
I went out to a certain beach club in Abu Dhabi, and I was with my partner. And not that we were doing anything. We weren't doing anything. We were just kind of holding each other.
Yeah.
You know when your girlfriend's trying to be cute and trying to hold over your shoulders or whatever from the back. They was like, that's not allowed here.
They hit you with the, hey, this is a
me
family
with the, hey, you know, I was like,
yeah.
I'm not even doing anything. We were just trying to take a selfie photo. She's reaching over my shoulder. It wasn't even anything. She's like, no, you can't touch each other here.
Yeah. So I've definitely seen that. I've received the taps on the shoulder, like, I gotta separate, back up, give me space.
So
but
you're talking a little too close.
But I would say it's not that bad. I'm an affectionate person, so I've done PDA. You peck on a kiss here, a little hug here and there. That's it. Nothing too crazy though. Don't be trying to tongue somebody down for 5-10 seconds.
Well, that'll be for the
grab
dating
in
episode.
certain areas.
I don't know anything about that. So we're gonna have to defer to you on that.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, we gotta have a dating episode. That's gonna be interesting.
We're gonna definitely have a dating episode.
Might bring an expert on here as well. So
experts, you might need some help. You might need some help.
Yes.
Okay, so we have PDA, we have culture, music, fashion. Let's talk about one more thing though. Ladies' nights are a huge thing here. Right?
Let's
talk about the ladies. The ladies definitely get a lot of love in the GCC region.
Man, ladies are loved here. You could go out and not spend any money.
7 days a week.
At all, yeah.
7 days a week.
And some prime spots.
And to some prime spots. Like, so just to explain to people what a ladies' night is, it's just basically a special that's hosted by a restaurant, by a group of restaurants on a certain day for ladies only. So you'll get, hey, you can come here and you'll get 4 drinks, an appetizer, a main course, and some dessert for literally $10. Literally, when we say no money, it's not no money, but
there's some places they got the apps now where it's like, show up to this place, you can eat 3 appetizers, 3 drinks, and you just have to post on your social media. and all
The
that.
A-listers and stuff
That's
like that.
so
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. And there's no guys' nights here. That's not.
Yeah, there's no guy. Nothing for us.
There's
Nothing for
nothing
us.
for us out here, but it's okay. I mean, we don't need.
We're
anything.
all right. Yeah,
we're
we
good. We're
good.
good. I think the ladies need their day, which is every day, which is every night.
We appreciate
right?
y'all.
But it's a good time though. I mean, it's really nice to see that the country does show women a lot of love here and protects them. It's safe. It's really great for them, and it's obviously a great way to see the city, right? Because you're not wasting any money, and also the cleanliness. Let's talk about how clean this place is. So, if you ever, I'm sure you've been in the streets of New York and you've had to use the bathroom, and you're just like, I'm just gonna wait to get home because none of these
streets, or even in your home or your apartment.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna wait till I get home because there's no way I'm using any of these public facilities.
Yeah.
In the UAE, this is the only place I've been to where it's actually an experience and a pleasure to use the bathroom in public facilities.
Oh yeah.
Hotels.
Yeah.
Whether it's in Dira, in those public bathrooms where you have to pay to get there and they're self-cleaner ones.
Yeah.
So, and also the bidet changed my life forever.
Oh man, the bidet changed the game. Like I actually thought about like there's a store over here that's pretty cool. They're into like streetwear and culture, and they had like a designer bidet, and I thought about buying it. Like it was matte black and all that. Like
Mike, you're doing too much. Mike, you're doing too much.
Yo, it's nice, man. Yeah, and I need a bidet now. If I don't see a bidet, I don't feel right. I don't feel right.
That is kind of true. And in the States, there's not that many bidets. You can get them installed, but they don't come standard anymore.
Yeah.
They don't come standard, right? So you have to get them installed. And I think that
please Google that if you don't know what we're talking about. A bidet. It'll change your life.
it'll change your life. And use one. Use one, right? And it's good. It's obviously something that and it's part of the culture here, right? Too, right? Because Islam, cleanliness, they go together. Holiness.
The only thing I gotta say about that is I be so mad when I go to some bathrooms.
Oh, and it sounds like somebody took a shower. I'm like, what are you? I don't. Some of these showers at work, I'm just like, yo, did somebody shower here?
I'm looking, why is the water over here? Like, yo, the seat is so
it's in the ceiling. I'm like, why are they so over the walls? The toilet is right there. Like, what's this?
Like, you had a water fight I didn't know about? Like,
oh man, I feel like some of them are going to spray each other
or spraying the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I got you, like stuff like that. But okay, so what are some of the things that you're hearing? Oh, sports. We're over here talking about everything else, and we're two big sports heads. I watch a lot of sports. You play ball.
Yeah.
A lot of basketball is coming here. A lot of sports. Baseball. The baseball league.
Baseball's coming.
Right?
You know?
So they're bringing all those Western sports here, man. They're bringing basketball. They're bringing baseball.
Yeah.
They have, obviously, volleyball here. They have paddle, pickleball, whatever you want.
Soccer's
tennis.
Here, of
Soccer's
course.
here, right? But the only thing they're missing is
boxing as well.
Boxing's big here. A little NFL. If they bring in a little NFL here, we'll have the trifecta. We'll have everything we need.
Yeah.
And I think that they're working on that, man. I think that'll
be huge.
eventually.
Yeah, because the NFL is going global.
Yeah, they're going global, man.
Yeah.
They have London, Germany, all that stuff that's going on.
We officially got the NBA here. We recently just had the FIBA. So the world games here. USA, they're here. They're playing Germany. They're playing Greece. Yeah. Oh man, it's amazing atmosphere.
You like the game? You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get floor seats, man.
Oh, he just has to
like
throw
a
it.
celebrity.
He calls me bougie and fancy. The guy's going to floor seat games.
John was only going if it was floor seats. Keep that in mind. Right. That's the only way.
And that ticket that was supposed to be mine, he gave it away to someone else. But it's okay. We'll talk about that off camera. That's
for the Patreon, the Patreon.
There's not gonna be no Patreon, no Pantheon, whatever. This is the only content people are gonna get. Okay, that's it.
We had great atmosphere, and everybody from that lives here, that's visiting, people are flying in to see the games. And it's
people flying to see the games.
Yeah, it's electric.
Now, what would you say to someone who, I guess, one final thought before we get off? You know, if you had to describe this place in a few sentences, how would you do it? Like, in terms of like the culture itself. Like, if you had to describe somebody, if you had to sell somebody like the 30-second pitch, what would you tell them? I'm not saying give me the pitch, but what would you tell them?
I would say it's nothing but opportunity.
That is true. I was thinking the same thing. There's nothing but opportunity here, and it's such an it's such a confusing place to a lot of people, especially where we're from, that I think that if people took the time to actually sit down and see what's going on here, this is a growing place.
Yeah.
And you
And
can
this is the
ride
ground floor.
This is the ground floor. You can ride the wave up because they're open to new ideas from new people. And in places like New York, it's so saturated, some of the spots there, right? So you can't really enter into the space or break into it, right?
Exactly.
Even what we're doing, podcasting here in the UAE, it's relatively new here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So we're sort of like in the beginning stages in the emphasis, right? So look, I think before we cut off, I just want to address the audience here. I think you're getting a sneak peek of what's possible once you take a bit of a risk, right? Just between me, Mike, and myself. You know, I don't want to say we're nobodies, right? Like I don't believe in that in myself, but it's not like we're celebrities, right? And we're doing some pretty amazing things here. Here in the UAE, we have great jobs. We're living great lives. I mean, I'm certainly very blessed to be able to do the things that I do, even with you, even outside of what we do, right? And like everything, this is a journey. And because we want to go so far, we have to go together. And when I mean together, I mean with you as our audience and supporting our channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, smash that thumbs up button, share this video for the LFO boys. Follow us on IG and TikTok. Again, it's at Last Flat Out Podcast. You can follow me at JLubrio26. You can follow Mike at
If Mike was here.
Right. And lastly, please, again, I'm going to say this on every episode, at least on this season, leave a comment on what you like to see on the podcast. Any questions you have on being an expat, the UAE on general, traveling. Mike is probably going to answer your traveling questions, any foodie questions, and most importantly, constructive criticism, right? We're here for it. We want to grow. We want to get better each episode, right? So again, guys, from my end, see you guys next week, same time, same place. Thanks again for tuning in.
Thank you. We out.
We out.
My life too pristine.
Man, you didn't have to do them like that, man. You didn't have to do them like that.
It was film day.
Yeah.
We gotta make a statement.
Exactly. We gotta make a statement.
What's going on, man?
Flat out.